Ready? Hi everybody, this is Dr. White from Lionwell. I'm here with Josh from Kessler Family Farms, and this week we are highlighting eggplant. So, Josh, can you tell us a little bit about your farm?
Yeah, so we are a certified organic farm in Byron Center. We've been growing for about 6 years now. We're a very small scale. Our total growing area is about 2.5 acres, so intensive vegetable production, that kind of thing. We grow a whole variety of vegetables, all the way from zucchinis to eggplants to tomatoes and peppers. We've been doing it now for about 6 years.
Awesome. And then again, we're highlighting eggplant this week. So, what's either your favorite way to cook eggplant, or maybe something you wish more people knew about it?
Oh man, so my favorite way to cook it is to cut it into medallions and then put some olive oil, a little salt and a little garlic on it, and put it on the barbecue and barbecue it, and you get it nice and seared on there, and it is just absolutely delicious.
Awesome.
In terms of something somebody maybe didn't know, is it takes a really long time to grow eggplant. We have to start these things in our little grower in our barn in like early March as little tiny seedlings, and they stay in there for about 2.5 months, and then finally they get planted out in the field in mid-May to the end of May.
Got it.
And we don't even get eggplants usually until sometime in August. So it's
Wow.
like a 4 or 5 month thing just to get eggplants, and then you have them for 6-8 weeks, and then they're done. So when you see an eggplant at the farmers market, it's a product of a whole lot of work on the front end. So you only get a short window, so enjoy them while you can.
Got it. Well, that dovetails in my second question, which is how long should we expect you to have eggplant?
Oh man, probably maybe another 2 weeks. We had at our place on early Friday morning, we had a light frost, and all the tips of our eggplants got burned. So there's still eggplants on there, but all the leaves are starting to go bad. So like we'll probably have maybe 2 more weeks, and then they are done. So, and as soon as the first hard frost hits, they're definitely done.
Got it. So if you are a patient watching this, you have probably heard me talk about or preach why you should buy organic produce. And Kessler's is one of the few farmers in our market that actually carries organic produce. So I'd ask you, I know the amount of extra work that goes into that, so be curious why you guys are organic, and maybe again another question would be either what inspired you to do it, or more things you wish people understood about the benefits of organic.
Yeah, so why we're organic, I mean, when we started growing our farm about 6 years ago, we just started having kids, and we were kind of starting to realize how important it was, like the stuff that we're feeding them. And so as we started growing, we worked to align our practices with sort of like organic principles for growing, and growing them in a way that they're going to be healthy for our bodies, but that they'd also be healthy for like the world around us, because that impacts our bodies as well. So as we started growing, we were focused on that. And then, one of the other reasons is just we know that like not only are we eating the food, but people in our community are eating it. We want to have healthy. We want them to be healthy as well. So that's the reason for it. Did you ask something about like some of the practices as well, or what was the second part of the question?
Yeah, I was just I always talk with patients about the benefits and why I would advocate for spending a little bit more for organic produce.
Yeah.
But I'd be curious just if you could share, again, if there was something that you wish more people understood about the benefits of the organic foods, or again, what inspired you. I mean, you talked a little bit about with your having kids, but
in terms of like the benefits, I mean, typically when you're getting something organic, especially if it's grown locally, there's going to be a whole lot less carbon that goes into it, and that affects everyone around us. The other benefits are that you're not going to have terrible, awful sprays that oftentimes get put on foods that can affect your health even when they get washed off. And so, like, buying from an organic farm, whether they're certified organic or certified naturally grown, ensures you or guarantees you that kind of stuff hasn't touched your food, and that it's not going to make its way into the bodies of you in the season.
Yeah, and I'll include a lot of information in the email with this around. Josh was alluding to some of the pesticides and herbicides that are used in a lot of commercial farming practices. One of the biggest ones you've probably heard of is Roundup, or what I would call glyphosate. And it's a very well-known carcinogen at this point. We know it causes cancer. It's not even a question of if anymore. So understanding where those products are used, how it's affected in your body and when you're digesting it, in my opinion, is worth investing a little bit more time and effort in understanding where your food's coming from, and also spending a little bit more for the products, because maybe you can speak to this. Being a certified organic farm is harder, right? It's not, it's not just as simple as, oh, we now are organic with a sticker. There's a lot more work on your end, right, that goes into that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every weed has to be pulled by hand or taken out with a hoe. There's no chemicals that are used to reduce weeds. For pests, we have to sometimes manually go and take squash beetles off of our squash plants instead of just spraying them with things. So there's a whole lot more human interaction that happens and human labor that happens when you're growing organically, and so that's part of why it costs more, is because there's more time and energy to go into a lot of these products. So.
Exactly. Yeah. So again, I hope that this video has inspired you to at least start to look into organic foods if you're not currently purchasing them, and also just supporting local. There's also a lot of health benefits Josh alluded to actually eating local foods, especially for things like allergies and getting exposed to local pollen and whatnot. So again, I'll include that in the email, but are you guys here every Wednesday, Saturday?
We're here every Saturday.
Saturday, got it. So if you are here on a Saturday, make sure to stop by quickly if you want eggplant, but at minimum just to say hi. And again, you can ask more questions about organic foods if you need to know more, and support this awesome farm. Thank you.
You're welcome.